Good afternoon, everyone. Great to see you again. You can sort of see it being at home. I must be getting a little bit bored. I'm playing around with virtual backgrounds. This background here is the Baroque Library in Prague. Sort of sits right on the top of the hill of the city, and an amazing place. Perry Lamb, actually one of our business partners, and I visited this while we were doing some work in Prague a couple of years ago. Now that's a library to have, right? But that's not what I came to talk to you about today. Last week, I was telling you about a way in which to share stories that will make a difference in this period of tackling COVID-19. And we were focused on, the positive stories. Find those positive stories, find the behaviour that you really want, and tell stories of that as an illustration of what is desired out there, right? And this week, I want to share just another story approach, if you like, to add to that. We're going to build up your repertoire over the next few weeks of story tactics you can use in this time of COVID-19. And this one really comes about from an insight that came out of a really interesting book that I read back in 2011. It was called The Progress Principle. Teresa, Amabile, and Stephen Kramer were the authors. And they did this really interesting study where they essentially asked people on a daily basis, I think it was nearly 250 people over 26 projects, 7 different companies. And every day they asked them, was there any event during the day that really stands out in your mind? And as a result of that, they collected something like 12,000 anecdotes in their study. And buried in those anecdotes was the thing that they called the progress principle, which simply states that when they hear about progress, small, concrete, tangible things that are happening in the business, they feel good. They feel they're making progress. And this is incredibly motivating. And I think this is an opportunity to use these types of stories in what's going on right now. Say, for example, you're racing to adopt a new strategy. A lot of people, for example, are trying to get all their programs online. I know Anecdote is one of those. We've been doing it a little while now, but we want to really beef up that part of our business. And so to show progress, you need to be able to share stories of where you're making steps towards that end goal, right? And there's real small anecdotes, like you sort of say things like, I bumped into Mark this morning, and he was telling me just how well our new Storytelling for Leaders program online went last week. We did a public program. And yeah, it was really interesting, just some of the questions we were getting and just the positive reaction that we're getting from the program. Little anecdote. It's not a fantastic anecdote in any way, but you don't have to have fantastic anecdotes. You just have to show real, concrete, specific examples of where you're making progress. So that's what I need you to do. Look out on the horizon, look around you, find examples of where your strategy is actually happening, and share those examples on a regular basis. Try to do it every day, right? And that will illustrate progress that you're making, and it will motivate people, keep people engaged, and help people get through, it's potentially one of the toughest times anyone has faced in business. So do that. Let me know how you go. I'd love to hear any stories. And I know I might have another virtual background for share next time around. Bye for now.